So in the spring of 2019 was when I started my social media marketing agency. And guess what happened? It completely flopped. How much time did I spend on it? 1.5 years. In today's video, I'm going to be going over exactly why it flopped and 4 different lessons I learned from running it. So that was what I was doing before I started coaching. Before we get into this video, if you want to reach out to me, Instagram is down below as well, at the Matt Jacob, and let's get started. So mistakes I made when I first started my social media marketing agency. The reason I got into it was because of Iman Gadzi. Watched his videos, saw his ad, decided I wanted to get in on this new opportunity. I didn't want to do drop shipping, I didn't want to do Amazon FBA, so why not start a marketing agency? And besides that, I was already running my Instagram theme pages, so that's kind of related to starting a marketing agency. I can just help people with Instagram. Simple, right? Completely wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad business model. I'm never gonna say I want to make something clear here before we get into this. I'm not bashing the marketing agency business model. It's actually one of the best at the moment. So good. It's super good if you put your mind to it. I just didn't, and this is exactly what I'm gonna go into. So the first mistake I made was I was always learning but never implemented. You know them type of people who just read. Oh, I need to watch this YouTube video. That was me. All I did was read and learn for 1.5 years. That's why I wasted so much time, because I spent so much time learning, but I never really implemented. Like, yeah, sure, I'd send a couple cold emails out. Okay, I'll do a bit of outreach, like stuff that actually finally mattered. He's actually doing it. But for the most part, for these 1.5 years, I just procrastinated. This was a form of procrastinate. This was a form of procrastination. Just learning, never actually implementing it, testing it out, putting it to market. That's still a form of procrastination. It's cool if you're learning and reading, but then you got to implement it. And it's best if you implement it straight after, okay? That's the big mistake I was making. Always learning, trying to say, I tricked myself. I tricked my brain that I was doing all this work and being productive, when in reality, I can only call myself productive if I made an effort to sign clients. So, first mistake I made. Really hate myself for that. But now it's much better, it's fixed. I'm actually, I'm not doing that anymore. So, second thing, I was playing not to lose, and it ties to the first point, okay? I was playing not to lose instead of playing to win. So let me explain what that means. There's 2 types of people. The first, people who are going to play not to lose, and play to win. And it's not just in business, it's in life, in sports. If you're playing not to lose, then you're going to try and play without making any mistakes. You're going to be very, very cautious about what moves you're going to make and how you're going to do it. And that's really, really bad. You're playing on defense, basically. You're trying to play so that you don't F up. Now, if you get the other person 2, they're playing to win. And winning is all that matters, okay? The result that you want at the end of the day is to win. Then sure, they might make mistakes, they might fumble the bag a bit, but they don't care because they're playing to win. They're getting to that overarching goal at the end of the day. They're playing offense. So you can either play defense or offense. And what I was doing and what I learned was that I was just playing defense the entire time. So for example, let's put this into practice. What I was doing the majority of my time was not going out to people, reaching out to potential prospects, and spending my time on sales calls. That wasn't what I was spending most of my time on. That's offense, and that's where you want to be That's what you want to be doing. That's where you want to spend your time. What I was spending my time on was stupid stuff. It was stupid stuff, especially because I hadn't signed a client. So why am I even worrying about it? So for example, I was focusing on trying to build out my onboarding process, trying to build out this questionnaire, trying to build out this survey, trying to craft my social profile. And there is a time and place for all this stuff, all these systems, setting up systems. And yes, setting up systems is super smart, definitely do that, but only if you're actually doing the stuff that moves the needle as well, aka starting conversations, booking sales calls, closing clients. And I wasn't doing any of that. I was only doing like 10% of that at least. So I was playing not to lose, and I was instead of playing to win. And the reason I was doing that was because I was scared. Let's get to the root of it. I was just scared. I was scared of making a mistake. I was scared of losing a client. I was scared of, even though I hadn't signed clients, that's the craziest thing. I was scared of losing a client that I hadn't even signed yet. So It makes no sense. One of the biggest fears that I had was freezing up on a sales call. So when you get into the sales process, and okay, granted, I was new. Don't worry, this is normal for everyone. But one of my biggest fears, and it's so specific, it's just like we're getting into the conversation, they like what they hear, and then we get to the certain point of the sales call and they throw a curveball, and I just freeze up. I don't know what to say. And that used to be my biggest fear, just freezing up on the sales calls, because you're on a Zoom call and it's just you and them, so what can you do, right? So luckily that's fixed now. I had to get over it sooner or later. I had to hop on sales calls and play to win, make mistakes, F up, put in the reps. But the difference between the person playing defense and the person playing offense is that sooner or later the person playing offense is going to get closer and get that W. Okay, the person playing defense isn't even trying to get that W. They're just trying to play it safe. They're just trying to not lose. Okay, so that was the second mistake I made, playing not to lose instead of playing to win. The third mistake I made, copying everyone else. So we're going to link this back to Eman, and I love the guy. This guy's paved the way. If I hadn't seen his ad, I would have never been where I am today. But what I was doing was just copying him, copying everyone who was succeeding, seeing what was working, and literally carbon copying them. So as I said earlier, before I ran my agency, I used to do Instagram theme pages. I used to flip Instagram pages. I used to grow them, monetize them. Actually, I never used to flip them. That was in the plan. But basically, long story short, I used to grow and monetize Instagram pages, right? So what the smart thing to do, and this is what I did in the beginning. Don't worry, I did this in the beginning. I started my marketing agency and decided, okay, I'll pick a niche and I will help them with Instagram growth. I'll help them with Instagram. And did that for a couple weeks actually. And then I hit a bit of resistance. Oh, it's not working anymore. Oh, maybe I should try Facebook ads. I've never done Facebook ads, had no experience in Facebook ads. And the difference is, if you are willing to learn or outsource it to someone, which we'll get on later, then that's cool. You can do Facebook ads, you can get into a service that, you will have to do in the long run. Just accept it. But here, I wasn't willing to learn. But for some reason, I still picked it because I saw that was what everyone else was doing. So I thought, with my smart brain, let's ditch like all the 9 months of experience growing an Instagram page and successfully monetizing it. Let's just go into something completely new, Facebook ads, because everyone else was doing it. So why not do it? Okay. So I copied everyone else, and you can probably tell what happened later. Didn't get any clients, didn't get anywhere. Now the last thing is shiny object syndrome. This plagued me a lot. So not only did it happen for the offer, the service, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, it also happened to the niche. So I can't even remember how many niches I tried to serve. So the first one was restaurants, because I remember that was an easy one. So I wanted to just not make it too hard on myself and just start with an easy niche. So restaurants, Instagram growth for restaurants. Okay. And then what did I go into next? I went on to helping gyms, boutique gyms, because I was passionate about fitness. Didn't get anywhere with that as well. So it was restaurants, gyms, boutique gyms, so private gyms. I think I dipped my toes in e-commerce for a tiny bit, and I think it was back and forth between these 3 or 4 ones. So it was really bad. So shiny object syndrome. I would spend a couple months on one niche, one offer, and then give up because it got a little bit hard, and then I couldn't see it through, so I just switched to the next one thinking that the grass would be greener, and simply that is not the case. So if you're in this position, I want you to just roll the dice, pick a niche, pick an offer, pick an outcome. Stick with that for the next 3 to 6 months, see where it goes, ignore and get through any and every sort of resistance that you face, figure it out, and then if still after 3 to 6 months you don't get anywhere, then you can consider making a switch. Okay, so the 4 mistakes I made was I was always learning but never implementing. Second one was playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Number 3 was copying everyone else. And number 4 was shiny object syndrome. So these were the 4 mistakes that resulted in the downfall of my marketing agency. I learned a lot from these mistakes. I hope you learned from it as well. And if If you are new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're doing a marketing agency, hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments down below. And again, if you're serious about generating more leads and building a ton of authority online with social media as a coach or a consultant in 2022, if you're serious about that, call link is down below, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.